court system as a way to collect the debt. And the question more pointed here is I guess as I'm hearing as I've heard some testimony and discussions that we've had, you know, are these companies factoring the ability to go after that debt through the power of arrest and the threat of arrest, and do they factor that in while they're making that loan? In other words, is it part of their cost of doing business that they factored in their underwriting and in lending that money to that consumer?
I can't speak with a great deal of experience from a lender's point of view. I can tell you, generally speaking, yes, lenders build in all factors, including the friendliness of a court system to their proposition. But from a debt buyer's point of view, I can tell you explicitly and absolutely that is the key factor. There are debt collection companies, and I'll say my competitors, and you can say within the department you're here because it's an economic advantage for you to do it one way, and you'd like them all to have to do it the hard way. You're way, I'm going to do what I'm going to do it anyhow. I'm going to do mine irrespective of them. I can tell you there are debt buying companies who buy on the promise that they will sue them all. They have no intention to call. They have no intention to try to work on it.
Here, but the sue, I can understand availing yourself of the court system because that's a fundamental right that we all have, right? If you have a dispute, everyone has access to the courthouse. But what we're hearing here, is not the opportunity to go before a judge to say, Your Honor, I simply do not have the money to pay back this $200 that I owe because I need a cancer treatment. That's not what we're hearing today. What we're hearing is, like you said, the person is guilty. Guilty. They are arrested. You have a police officer who will knock on your door to put handcuffs and to take you to jail so that the money that you will post to get out of jail goes to pay off the debt.
Yes.
That's different.
Yes.
And what I'm asking you, sir, in your professional opinion, in your understanding of the industry, are companies, creditors, are they exploiting the threat of jail for the purposes of being able to collect on that debt?
Unequivocally, absolutely, beyond a doubt. They buy debt by state. So some states are more lenient than others, some states are more frugal than others. Some states have different laws, I'll say. And debt buyers can buy by geography, and I can tell you that the debt from the state of Illinois goes high or is more expensive because whoever purchases it has a tool that you wouldn't get in, say, Iowa. Right next door. The people aren't different because the Mississippi River runs through it. The people are the same. But the debt price will be different. And it'll be more expensive under a higher price because they have a court system that'll send state troopers to get people out of bed at 11 o'clock at night. What an effective collection technique that is. You don't have to have them on payroll. The state has done that for you. And that's essentially what the proposition is today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barber. And Ms. Davison would like to call next. Hi.
I'm here today because we were in jail for $210 of back rent from a landlord. And my husband and I lived in the house together, and I was about eight months pregnant, and he beat me up. I was thrown in jail for severe aggravated domestic battery. I had my daughter 4 weeks early because of the stress and the problems with pregnancy. The only money that I even made, I get cash assistance only, and that's the only income that I had. And my rent was $450 a month. I paid my landlord $240 because I had other expenses. I had a newborn baby. I had all kinds of other things I needed to take care of. in a residence, they told me that I had 10 days to get out of the house with a 7-day-old baby and 2 other children. So I was now a single mom of 3 kids, one of them only being a week old. I just had surgery right after I had the baby, and I only had 10 days to get out of the house. And so they would have me removed and I would lose everything that's left in the house. So I got as much out as I could, pretty much just clothes and like things that we absolutely had to have, because I didn't even know where we were even going. I didn't have really any places to go. And about whenever I was in court, they told me that I had to pay $50 a month. And my husband appeared, and they said that he had to pay $50 a month too, and he didn't pay it. I was in Texas, and I couldn't make my payments because I didn't have money. I was trying to get into a place, trying to find new furniture, because I had to leave my furniture behind in my old house. And I got circuit papers telling me that I had to show up in court or I was going to get arrested. And they asked me if I was there, why I hadn't been making payments, and I didn't have the money. They told me, well, so I needed to make payments and that they would give me one more chance to start making them. And if I didn't, I would be held in contempt of court, and that I would be going to jail, and my bond would be the entire amount of the fine that was of the what I was being sued for, which originally was $210 and it ended up being over $1,000 by the time it was all said and done. I agreed because I don't like confrontation. I get nervous really easy, and the lawyer was really pushy, really in my face, just pretty much telling me what I needed to do and how I was wrong, how I was such a mean person for not paying my landlord the rent because I knew that I owed it. And then he felt guilty, and I was scared. I signed the papers to Rachel because I wanted out of there. I did not want confrontation with him. And I couldn't pay it. So the next month I was served with papers again by a police officer. And went to court again. And I think after that I contacted Landon again because they were also handling the divorce. And Andrew let me know that that should there's no reason that I should have been even going through all that. And we referred me to Sandy, and she would explain my exemption rights. At no time, I didn't even know that even existed. I mean, I thought I owed it, and I just needed to show up and I needed to do it. My ex-husband never got served for paper. He never got arrested. They never put a warrant after his arrest for not showing up to court. And I even asked the court one of the times that I was there, why am I held responsible and why is he not being arrested? Why is he not being threatened with being thrown in jail? And they pretty much told me, well, you're the one that's being responsible, you're the one that's showing up, so you're the one that has to take care of the problem. And then they told me I had to take him to small claims court after I paid the amount off and get my house back to him. And I got a letter in the mail from them telling me that I had a court date that I could choose to appear or not, but it was a body attachment. They were arresting me because I hadn't been taken on it. And I was terrified. I thought, I'm going to jail, my kids are going to get foster care, and I was terrified. And that's whenever Cindy, told me, that's not going to happen. And he went, and she, after a very long time of talking to the other attorney, they finally came to some kind of agreement. I'm pretty sure I have to, if I get employed, I have to send him my paycheck stuff, I'm pretty sure, and let him know that I'm employed and what my finances are and stuff. And I think 12 months. I think every 12 months I have to go for an update to ask why I'm not working and why I'm not working.
One question I have is, you indicated that when you were served with papers, they asked you why you weren't making a payment. When you say they, were you talking about
The court.
Okay, so were the sheriff's deputies, the people that were serving you the papers, engaged in that kind of?
They knew why they were there, and they were really rude. A couple of them I went to school with, so they thought it was amusing. And then I got picked on, and they thought I was very embarrassed.
what's the county of,
Perry,
I'm sorry,
Perry.
Perry County? Thank you for your bravery and sharing your story, yeah.
And I just have one more question. I venture to think that I know the answer to this question, but if you had not found Land of Lincoln Legal Services, do you think you would have eventually wound up in jail?
I know that. I'm pretty sure the court even made a comment saying that he was going to rule, they were going to rule in favor of my landlord, which, I mean, they wanted to throw him in jail. And I don't understand that at all, how anyone could want a single mom with 3 kids thrown in jail for $210. That doesn't make sense.
Thank you so much for being here and for your...
You said that they made a comment, who's the they? That you said they, the court. Is it the judge or the lawyer?
I'm not for sure.
Oh,
But
and so the 210 debt is now over $1,000.
that I have to pay eventually. I mean, I want to pay it back. I mean, I feel,
But your ex-husband, who was also on the lease with you,
yeah.
he's not obligated.
And no, and my landlord knew whenever I signed the lease, I was on bed rest because I was pregnant and there was difficulties throughout my whole pregnancy. And I was in and out of the hospital, and he knew that I was not working at all and that the income, every bit of income was from my husband. And he knew that, and he still chose to take me to court and push me instead of him. Whenever I was, whenever I was pregnant, and I was
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
thank
being
you.
I have gone through all of the witness slips that I had, so now is an opportunity for general public comment to the extent there is any. So anyone who is interested in saying a few words is welcome to come up to the podium and do so in a first come, first served basis. If not, then I'm going to begin inviting the directors to kind of give some closing thoughts. Seeing no general public comments, I'm going to invite Director Flores to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. And thank you to all of the individuals who testified here today. Sharing one's personal stories is obviously it's a very difficult thing to do, and we appreciate your courage and your bravery, and that your testimony is going to help us. We're going to work really hard to reform and fix this problem. That's all I have.
Thank you. The reality is that this is a very challenging economy. And, you know, part of being a challenging economy is that we could say it's his fault, it's her fault, it's their fault. But at some point, we need to stand up and do something about it. Because, for example, what Lisa Lindsay shared, you know, what Rhonda shared, and what Sandy sees day in and day out. And also the other half is what Bill Bartman, what he doesn't do. It shouldn't be a rare situation. What the Lisa Lindsays of the world go through should not be a common situation, as Bill Bartman said. Should it be more expensive to buy debt in Illinois because they know they have the court systems? Because as Bill Bartman said, they know that they have extra tools here in Illinois. And so we're fortunate to have Governor Quinn, who is a proven advocate for protecting consumers, and Secretary Brent Adams, who is not going to stand by idly and let this happen. He's going to make sure, we are collectively going to make sure that this is not a continuing practice and that we do something about it. So thank you for sharing your story, and we hope that in this process, your courage will help others.
I'd like to echo thanks to those who shared their stories today. It's not an easy thing to do. Wasn't a pleasant experience, and sharing that with others. It's important for us to gather the information. I also think it's important because, I get the feeling that, certain parts of the creditors bar are depending on people staying quiet and going along with the system, paying when maybe they really don't have to pay, because they're not volunteering what the law is at these hearings. So I think, sharing your stories is very important, because it's not an isolated incident. Do we know the exact numbers? No. But, these are not once in a while, situations. It appears to be happening with disturbing frequency. The other thing I would know is, through Mr. Bartman's testimony, it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. I'm not talking about changing the law, or changing rules, or anything else. You can choose. A great deal of talk about choice, and people have to honor their contracts. Well, yes, but you get to make decisions too. These court cases don't just happen by themselves. There's a moving party, usually the creditor. The debtors aren't usually going to court and saying, please, I need to pay you more. They're being hauled into court. So, what the exact answer is, we're trying to figure that out. But I think, those are the 2 points that have struck me in particular today. People sharing, and then, other than the industry making conscious. And we've heard other similar stories of some creditors who make a conscious decision to not avail themselves of these tools. That's a trend I'd like to encourage, however possible. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Director, and thank you all directors. I want to thank the directors for joining me here today. I want to thank the staff, the department.